Our homes are one of the only places where we can just sit back and isolate ourselves from the outside world, until the outside world enters. Here are 5 disturbing cases of home invasions. I will leave links to my sources in the video description if anybody wants to have a better look. A homeless woman had been arrested after living undetected for almost a year in a tiny cupboard in a man's house in Japan. After the resident of the house, who will remain anonymous, started noticing food repeatedly being taken from the kitchen, set up security cameras connected to his mobile phone. While out of the house, he caught images of a woman walking around. The police were called, and after a search through the house, found the woman curled up, hiding in a built-in cupboard. The woman was identified as 58-year-old Tatsuko Horikawa. She had enough room to lie down, and kept a small futon in the cupboard to sleep on. Horikawa told the police that she had nowhere to live, and simply walked in the house a year previous and started living in the cupboard. Horikawa was charged with trespassing. "73-year-old Velma Kellen learns a stranger was living in her crawl space." In 2013, retired Washington State woman Velma Kellen called a repairman to repair what she believed was a broken furnace. The repairman told Kellen that he could fix the air ducts, which seemed to be the problem. But he also informed Kellen that a homeless man had been living under her home. The stranger apparently cut through the duct to get some of the heat. Kellen believes the stranger came and went through the backyard, as she found the gates mysteriously left open from time to time. Around Christmas time in 2008, 21-year-old Stanley Carter had been living in a family's attic in a suburb north of Philadelphia. While visiting next door, Carter had been visiting a neighbor in the same duplex as the Ferences. However, when it was time for him to leave, he made his way into the shared attic in the duplex on December 19th. During his visit, the man had been wearing the family's clothes and eating their food while they were out of the house. Homeowner Stacy Ferentz said she often heard noises, but thought they were caused by her kids. The family had no idea there was a stranger living in their attic until Boxing Day. On Christmas Day, the family left for a Christmas party, and when they returned, they noticed some cash and expensive electronics were missing. The police were called, but found nothing. But the next day, the family noticed a footprint on the wall beside the attic door. Police were called again and heard Carter moving around upstairs in the attic. Carter was caught and his stay was moved to the county prison. Back in November of 2009, actor and writer Joe Cummings was living in New York City. After noticing food was repeatedly being taken from his fridge that he knew he wasn't eating, he confronted his girlfriend, who was living with him at the time. She claimed she hadn't been eating his food, so he decided to set up a camera and catch her. But instead, he found something very disturbing In the video, you can see Joe set up the camera before going to bed. 2 hours later, you can see a woman emerge from a crawl space above his kitchen. The woman can be seen throughout the video eating his food, peeing in his sink, and drinking milk right out of the carton. She then crawls back up into the crawl space. The next morning, Joe immediately goes and checks the footage. After checking the footage, Joe leaves the apartment and contacts the police. The police say that she could have been living in there for weeks, possibly longer. You can check out the video for yourself, as I will leave a link to the video in the description. Joe explains the whole situation in the description of his video.